production of TFNN.
So let's go to Rick in Longwood. Rick, thanks for holding. Thanks for calling in.
Well, thanks for taking my call this morning, Steve. And you're right, it is a beautiful morning.
Oh, man, it's a beautiful. That's why we live in Florida.
Yeah, it sure is. And, I'm one of your subscribers to your alert service.
Yes, thank you.
And, thank you. I'm one of your very satisfied customers because you're making me money.
Hey, I love
That's
it.
the bottom line.
I love it. I love it. I hope you're a moon lover. I hope you're a moon lover, too, Rick.
Live at TFNN, The Trader's Edge, with your host, Steve Rhodes.
And he's picked out a landing spot that is a good 25 feet above the hull.
There's a good chance he doesn't get this inside the Marco's ball.
Well, here it comes. Oh, my goodness. Have you seen anything like that? This guy's pretty good.
Now, the author of Mastering Probability, Steve Rhodes.
Good morning, all you wonderful money masters, treasure hunters. Welcome. I'm Steve Rhodes, host of The Trader's Edge, and thanks so much for joining me. Hope you're off to a wonderful Wednesday. It's already the middle of the week. Can you believe it? That's a wonderful thing. Got a shortened week again, so we're all catching up on our rest. And let me tell you, here in Florida, we need some rest. And what I could really use is send me some of your warmth. Today it was below freezing, I believe it was, down around 30 degrees this morning. On the way into the office, like about 36, 37 degrees, and we're not ready for that kind of weather here. So I'm all bundled up. I took my earmuffs off, my gloves off, although it still is a little chilly here in the studio, and send me some warmth, if you will. Now, folks, I absolutely love being here with you, and for the next hour, you're going to be underneath my care, guidance, and protection. We're going to tool around, take a look at the markets. We'll go around the world, see what's going on. Relatively, flat day compared to the fireworks show that the Zambinis put on yesterday. I think that was a family of folks that were up in the New York area that put on the big fireworks display on the Hudson River. If not, I apologize, but there was certainly a fireworks display that went around worldwide. That was the celebration of New Year's, if you will. We'll see where these markets are going to go. You know, it's all about the currency pairs. It's all about the euro, and the euro is showing a heck of a lot more weakness than what we're seeing in the markets right now. In fact, the markets, you got the Dow futures down about 40-ish or so. You got the S&P down about 5, NASDAQ down 4. Small caps down about almost 5. You've got the DAX down 48 points. You've got the FTSE down 11 right now. Only thing that was up in Asia last night was the Nikkei. That was up 104 points. King dollar up 54 ticks right now. Light sweet crude trading down 32 cents at 102.64. Gold off just about $2.50 down at the 15.98 level. Silver down about 40 cents, 29.17. And so, that's the market right now. Not a lot going on, relatively flat. We'll come back to the markets. One of the things that I wanted to do yesterday that we didn't get a chance, in a way to be able to kick off the new year, in a way to be totally resolute. Not create resolutions, but be resolute about what it is that you want to accomplish over the next 12 months. I like to be able to do that at least a couple times a year. In fact, you should be able to do that anytime. And what I'm going to be doing over the course of however long it takes is giving you the step-by-step formula to allow you, to help you to become resolute, whether it's in your business, which it could be the money management business. That's what we're in here right now. Could be another business. Maybe you just simply, you own a business. Maybe you own a division of a business. When I say own it, you've taken ownership of it. Doesn't matter who actually owns it from a paper standpoint. Maybe it's just simply your home. Whatever business it is that you're running, I'm going to give you the solution so that you can take it from where you are today, maybe to where it is that you want to be. You can do the same thing in your health. You can do the same thing in your relationships. So this covers health, wealth, relationships. But what it all really starts with, folks, it all really starts with the power of questions. You see, from the moment that you wake, Each of us. Each of us. The moment that you wake, the moment that I wake. In fact, in my case, because of my sleep habits, it seems like the questions, I don't know about you, but the questions continue to go on in my mind no matter whether I'm sleeping or whether I am awake. But when you are alert, when you're awake, it is absolutely the power of questions that controls your focus. Now, what's really interesting is many of us have had the same questions year after year after year. And a lot of times those questions really are just dealing with your fears, your two biggest fears, your fear of not being loved or your fear of not being enough. And what you have to understand in order to be able to get your head straight for any business, whether it's the money management business, whether it's running your household, whether it's running your health, you've got to be able to get your questions straight, because questions are what control your focus. And so before you can become resolute about whatever it is that you want to do, you've got to make sure that you have good, empowering questions. Because if your questions are basically those ant-type questions, those automatic negative thought questions, I can tell you you're channeled in the wrong area, because, you know, as Tom says, what you focus on grows. I can guarantee you that what you focus on grows. And so in order to change your focus, you first have to change your questions. In fact, the reality is, studies have shown this. This is not a Steveism. This is the reality on studies where millions of dollars have been placed into understanding why it is that people do what it is that each of us do. And the reality is it's all because of our wiring system. It's those questions, but those questions are basically a result of a wiring system that each of us have within inside ourselves. If you find difficulty in pulling the trigger when you're placing a trade, when a pattern is set up, it's really because of your wiring system. It's your wiring system, it's your belief system that, quite frankly, occurred during the first 8 years, the first 8 years of your life. If you want to understand why it is that you believe why you believe in the things you do, or you think the way that you do, or maybe better yet, somebody else that's close to you in your life, and you want to understand why it is that they think the way they do, just ask them questions about their earliest memories. Try to take them back, or try to take yourself back to your first 8 years. And in fact, if you're a woman, what I want you to understand, or if you're having a discussion with a woman, then I want you to ask her about her father, because her father is the one. Studies have shown that when it comes to female children, it's their fathers that have the most influence on their wiring system. When it comes to our sons, it's the mothers that have the most influence on their system. So if you're struggling to be able to take the trade, if you will, or to be able to make a decision. Some folks struggle with just simply making decisions. Go back to your wiring system, because the reality is that wiring system took place in those first 8 years. How would you like to be age 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 and know that what's really controlling your focus is that wiring system back then? Do you think that you've got more knowledge right now that if you could create a better wiring system for you, that you would? Absolutely. I mean, you have way more knowledge than you did when you were 7 years old, 6 years old, 8 years old. But you could ask questions such as, to understand empowerment type questions, whether it's male or female, because you now know who the influencers are in your life. But understand what type of, when it came to making a decision, how about just climbing a tree or climbing the monkey bars? Was the parent of the opposite sex, were they ones that were out there that were encouraging you, saying, yeah, you can do it? Or were they the ones that were telling you to just totally be careful, don't do this, because, were they encouraging or not encouraging? Because that will help you to understand why it is that you do the things that you do. In fact, I'll give you right here the secret, the absolute secret. I'm going to give you the deepest secret of why it is that you do what you do, folks. And over the course of time, you'll better be able to understand this. In fact, you want to take a look at this on TigerTV. It'll probably be right up here on the screen right now. But the real holy grail, if you will, to why it is that you do what you do are these 5 bullet points here. And these 5 bullet points are simply what we focus on, folks, we feel. And what we feel, that provides us with our meaning. And our meaning, folks, that gives us emotion. We all know that emotion, if you take that letter E off, is motion. It's all about progress. So our meanings, what we give our meanings gives us that power, that progress, or simply not progress, because you don't move forward, because you don't take action. And folks, it's our emotions that absolutely create that whole decision-making process, and those decisions are what shape our destiny. This is, in my opinion, the entire holy grail about why it is that you do the things you do. You may think, Steve, this is not important. This is too deep. What are you talking about? Well, the reality is, and I can guarantee you this, I promise you this, if you focus on this, if you understand this, if you write this down, in fact, if you don't write it down, I'm going to switch a slide here, but you can always watch the archive on Channel 14, and you keep this off to the side, you start thinking about it, and you want to take your life to another level, you need to understand why it is that you do the things you do. Now, what you also have to understand is that you need to be able to make decisions from a peak state of mind. Why? Because your total source of emotion is really about your state of mind. When you're making decisions about the stock market, to take a trade, to not take a trade, you need to make sure that you have some way to put yourself into a peak state. And a peak state is really easy because it's all really about three factors. Those three factors being your physiology, being your focus, being your language. Physiology, that's nothing more than being able to just simply put your shoulders straight, if you will, straighten up, take a deep breath. It's really more than that because you can change your physiology in a heartbeat. How quickly? If I gave you a shot of tequila right now, I promise you it would change your physiology real quick. Some of us smoke. I don't. Some people drink. Some people, and it can be any kind of food. It could be a Coke or what have you. But that is going to change your physiology. So 55% of your total emotion, which is so important. Your emotion is all about being able to make progress or holding you back from making progress. It's all about your physiology. Then it's going to be just simply your focus. What is it that you're visualized on? What is it that your eyes see? Whether it's trading a pattern in a marketplace, whether it is some other pattern that exists in your life, a pattern of caution, because you learned at a young age that you had a parent that wasn't encouraging you, that said, yes, you can do this. Absolutely you can do this. That gave you that belief system that you could accomplish anything. And if you fell, all you did was you brushed your pants off and you got back up. Or did you have the parent, do you have a belief system, is your visualization, your focus, that you need total caution when it comes to decision making, that you need to be very analytical, if you will, about all your decisions. Folks, your state of mind is your total source of emotion. The least important aspect is really the language. It only represents 7%. You got focus, visualization, 38%. Back in 2008, this was my life purpose statement. What I want you to be able to do today is I want you to be able to create yours. What you want to do, even though words are only 7%, it is part of the trigger. So I just simply want you to write this down. I want you to, the purpose of my life is to be a blank. Fill that out, whatever that is for you. Could be, you can fill it out for your health, your wealth, your relationships. The purpose of my life is to be what? That will create what for you, for yourself and others, so that everyone in your world will what? Will share all the gifts that you can offer them. Folks, this is the first step. This is the first step in being resolute to whatever it is that you want to accomplish in your life. When we get back, 877-927-6648. We'll take a look at the markets. Love being here with you. Have a great morning. We'll be right back, folks.
X-Story Gold Mines, an NYSE Amex-listed company trading under the symbol XG, is slated to be the newest gold-silver producer in Argentina. X-Story is forecast to produce more than $250 million in bullion annually, beginning in 2013, at a cash cost of less than $200 for each ounce of gold produced. That forecast will make X-Story one of the highest margin operators in South America and a sector leader in the mining industry. X-Story has $50 million in its treasury, having spent over $60 million to date on drilling and engineering. The ultimate size of its Argentina discovery could be determined by year-end, as results from the 6 drills operating at the site are fully assessed. To find out more about X-Story Gold Mines and their exciting growth potential, click on their banner on the front page of TFNN.com or check them out on the NYSE Amex under the symbol XG.
TFNN is proud to bring you the cutting edge of investment newsletters. Ken Shreve's Ultimate Growth Stocks. Ken is a top-down investor who lets price and volume in the major stock indices tell him when to be in the market and when to be out. By using his unique blend of fundamental and technical analysis, Ken will protect your hard-earned capital while realizing breakout gains. Go to TFNN.com today, click Investment Newsletters, and get Ken Shreve's Ultimate Growth Stocks free for 2 weeks.
In 1929, Joe Kennedy had $4 million. By 1932, he grew it into $180 million. All this during the Great Depression. The good thing about economic difficult times is that the worst economy can produce the best rewards in the shortest period of time. In fact, during the last 130 years, 61% of that time period has been spent in recession. How would you like the strategies that Kennedy's and others use that are bulletproof against the turmoil of our economy in these fast-changing times? For the last quarter of a century, I've studied and used the secrets used by millionaires and billionaires. These are bulletproof strategies that will astonish you. I'd love to introduce you to these concepts because they will absolutely change your life. I'm Steve Rhodes, co-host of The Money Masters with Tom O'Brien and host of The Trader's Edge, both seen daily at TFNN.com. If you're even a little bit interested in accumulating wealth, providing a better life for you and your family, then send me an email at steve@tfnn.com and I'll send you this free report, Pathways to Wealth. That's steve@tfnn.com, giving you Pathways to Wealth.
Are you looking for a precision edge in the market? Something that can stack the odds in your favor? Then look into Larry Pesavento's new trading newsletter, Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind. In each weekly issue, Larry explains what's going to happen in the markets based on the pattern he sees developing and gives you actionable trade ideas based on those patterns. Plus, you'll get his detailed analysis on a variety of markets and sectors, including stocks, treasury bonds, the gold market, oil, the dollar, the forex market, and more. And you'll get the Technical Corner segment, which is a short but powerful weekly training session on trading. You'll get access to all the patterns Larry is seeing in the markets, plus the Astro Harmonics and powerful Bradley stock market model that Larry utilizes for less than $5 a day. An extremely potent combination that will give you just the edge you've been looking for. Try Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind absolutely free for 2 weeks. Go to TFNN.com and click on the free trial link at the top of the page. That's an $85 value, yours free when you register right now. Get Larry's Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind and get the edge you've been looking for.
Here's what people are saying about Tiger TV.
Let's go to John in Tampa. Hey, John, what's going on?
Hi, Tom. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great. You having a good day out there?
A wonderful day. I love your Tiger TV. I watch it every day. I'm like a kid in a candy store.
Oh, man, I appreciate you out there watching it. How long have you been watching the Tiger TV?
I'm watching almost a month now, and it's wonderful.
It's pretty cool, isn't it?
Oh, yes, it's cool. You see the charts and everything. Thanks so much for the hard work.
Tiger TV, a great news service from TFNN.com. This segment is brought to you by TFNN. Don't forget, you can test drive all the newsletters for free at TFNN.com.
It's always better when we're together. Yeah, we'll look at them stars when we're together. Well, it's always better when we're together. Yeah, it's always better when we're together.
It absolutely is, folks. Welcome back, 877-927-6648. And thank you. Thank you for sending me all that warmth. I was able to get rid of one of my layers back here. That was that little black sweater vest that I had on. Only pull that out when it gets really cold. And let me tell you, folks, it is cold in Florida. But still, come on down and, visit us in Suite 618 here in beautiful Clearwater, Florida. And let's take a quick spin around the world. Let's see what we've got going on out there. Again, future's really unchanged from when we first opened up the show. The Dow in the 40-ish range, the S&P's in the 5-point range. And we're looking at right here on Tiger TV on my screen is a picture of the DAX. Right now, you've got the DAX trading out at 61.19, 67, down 47 points from yesterday. And the DAX, which is one of the places where you want to be able to take a look. You see, this is a one world market. You want to understand from a market standpoint what's being communicated to us. This is a beautiful thing because they start trading this. In essence, it's now 9. So this has been trading here for 4 hours or so, 4 or 5 hours. So we've got a lot of information, 5 hours or so by now. A lot of information. And what you can see the DAX is doing is just simply coming up against that strong gap up from yesterday. The low on that gap was 61.0852. It has gotten down just below it, has rejected that area right now. And gaps are important to understand because even though what we had here was kind of a narrow candle, if you will, you still have this gap, and that gap is suggesting some strength. There still may be some strength out there, and we won't know until we see how the day plays out. What it did was it made a move of a move. That's this red line going across right here. So when you make a move of a move, what happens is you do something else. In other words, you don't continue going in the same direction. We can see a small ABC that is out there. Let's see if that actually completed as well. Yesterday, that A point would be right down here on December 20th. B point, the next session at the 21st, pulled all the way back to right here. And what you can see is we did just over a 1 to 1 point, just under a 1 to 1.272. A to B equals C to D. We can see that the C to D leg is weaker than this AB. Of course, it's only a two candle leg, but still you want to take a look at that strength. So it makes a 1 to 1.272. A to B equals C to D. You can see that it would do more than a 1 to 1 because of this big day here, this wide-ranging bar that the DAX had on January 2nd. They were open while most of us were closed. And when you have that wide-ranging bar and then you have a gap up, that tells me, that tells all of us, you're going to do more than the 1 to 1 A to B equals C to D. If you knew that, and you knew that the 1 to 1.272 was in the 61.89 area, and where does it get to? It gets up to 61.79. That's close enough for me when you're dealing with the 6,000 number and you're only off by 10 points. Plus, what you also knew was you were coming into this move of a move. So now it's just backing off a bit, and the way that it backs off is going to be very important. The gap will get filled. But right now, today, the gap is not getting filled, so it's showing us that right now, there's still a little bit of strength. There's still a little bit of emotion, if you will, a little bit of energy in there. If we continue taking a look around, we'll go over to the FTSE next. And the FTSE, there we go, right here, we'll take a look at the FTSE. You can see the FTSE is backing off just slightly as well. And what the FTSE is doing, let me get rid of some of these patterns that are out here. Let's clean this up a bit. And what the FTSE is doing is just simply coming into that October 27th, October 28th area. Hasn't completely made it all the way up there. The highest candle that we have, I think, is the 28th on the FTSE, 57.46.88. It is, and you can see that you're really trading inside that bar. Now, the low on that is 56.84 and 95 cents. Right now, you've got the FTSE at 56.82, so just slightly underneath that area. And, we'll look at the FTSE and see how it handles this swing point, because the FTSE has been much stronger. In fact, now it hasn't completed an ABC up. If we just simply come down to the low bar of 1125, up to the high bar of December 7th, on the way down here, to the low of December 20th, what we can see is that the FTSE has not made a complete A to B equals C to D, hasn't completed the 1 to 1 move of a move, if you will. And now this would be a butterfly pattern most likely. In fact, if we draw that in here, well, I was going to draw that in there. Give me a second here, and then we'll draw it in here. Let's see if that is, in fact, a butterfly pattern that we have going on out here. And a butterfly pattern, folks, is an expansion of really our start point, where X marks the spot. So there's an A to B equals C to D. The butterfly would complete, really, if you're looking at beautiful sacred geometry, just slightly above that area. Not saying that's what's going to happen, because we've got to go take a look at that currency market, because it's really all about King Dollar. King Dollar at 50 ticks right now. 877-927-6648. We get back, we'll go see how these markets are going to open. Be right back, folks.
Yeah, it's always better when we're together.
Hi, folks. This is Tom O'Brien. If you want to get great trade setups in equity as well as the option market, come over to TFNN.com and test drive my daily newsletter, Market Insights, for 2 weeks absolutely free. Each trade setup comes with a profit projection as well as stop placement. Included in Market Insights is a Twitter alert service. This allows you to take advantage of intraday setups. Volatility is back in the markets. What does that mean to you? To me, it spells short-term opportunity each and every day. The days of trending up on lighter volume are gone. We have come off the highs with volume across the globe. Don't get caught in a complacency trap. Many of the indices have given back 2 months of trading in 1 week. We have a trader's market. You can take advantage of this trader's market by test driving my daily newsletter, Market Insights, free for 2 weeks. Market Insights will give you the edge you're looking for in the markets. Go to TFNN.com, under newsletter, hit the Market Insight tab for your 2-week free test drive right here, right now.
Homeowners, did you know a burglar could break into your home and get away in just 5 minutes? A locked door may not be enough to keep a thief out of your home. Think about what you can lose, and then think about this. Now you can get a free security system monitored by ADT, the leader in home security. Pick up your phone now and get free hardware, free medical and fire alert, and free activation. It's an $850 value. Just call Protect Your Home, your authorized ADT dealer, at 1-800-949-8207. You'll get 24-hour protection, and there's no cost for parts or activation. So call now about a free security system monitored by ADT. Call 1-800-949-8207. $99 installation charge. 36-month monitoring agreement at $35.99 a month. Call for terms and conditions to this offer and protect your home license numbers. Call now. 1-800-949-8207. That's 1-800-949-8207.
Did you know that the price of gold is up over 24% this year, while the GDX, the Market Vectors Gold Miners ETF, is actually down 1.4% this year? Not all gold stocks are created equal, and not all gold stocks move with the price of gold. In October, Tom O'Brien recommended a buy of FCX in his gold report, and only 6 trading days later advised his clients to close the position, profiting almost 22% in this one trade. During the same 6 trading days, the price of gold was barely up 5%. Tom O'Brien's weekly newsletter, The Gold Report, gives investors the inside edge they need to profit in this gold market. Each Monday morning, Tom issues a gold market update at around 9:30 a.m., then issues a full report each Tuesday afternoon. For as low as $75 per month, you can gain access to Tom O'Brien's Gold Report. To order your gold report with a free 30-day trial subscription, log on to TFNN.com today or call 877-518-9190.
What type of investor are you? Conservative, moderate, or aggressive? No matter your investor personality, your overall portfolio should reflect your financial goals, time horizon, and your risk tolerance. Help ensure your portfolio is appropriately invested with an asset allocation plan from Morgan Stanley Smith Barney. Simply picking the right stocks is not enough. Research has shown that choosing the right proportion of stocks, bonds, and cash is essential to the success of your long-term investments. Morgan Stanley Smith Barney believes a carefully selected portfolio can lower your volatility and increase investment return potential. Find out about what asset allocation and a Morgan Stanley Smith Barney financial advisor can do for you. Call Angelo O'Brien, financial advisor and certified financial planner of the Clearwater, Florida branch at 727-441-6108 today to discuss your personal financial needs. Asset allocation does not assure a profit or protect against loss in declining financial markets. Investments and services are offered through Morgan Stanley Smith Barney, LLC. Member SIPC.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
It's always better when we're together. Yeah, we'll look at them stars and we're together. Well, it's always better when we're together. Yeah, it's always better when we're together.
To the races. You've got the Dow down 22 points. S&P's down 4. Composite down 8. Small caps down 4 as well. NDX off 4. You got Apple trading down 46 ticks right now. New York Stock Exchange down 31. Still the DAX, showing a little bit of strength here. Only down 37 points right now. King Dollar up 46 ticks. Light Sweet Crude down 33 cents. And what I've got up on my screen here, folks, is I've got the Euro chart. And it's so important to understand the Euro chart. I know that you hear all kinds of things and reasons as to why the market did what it did yesterday. And I'll tell you that, in my opinion, there's never been more clarity than what goes on and what is controlling the general market move. And that is the correlation between King Dollar and our markets, because it almost moves tick for tick. And when you understand that, and you understand that the euro is like 56% of the U.S. dollar index, it's really the place where you want to focus. It's the euro, it's the pound, it's the Canadian dollar, and the Japanese yen. You just take a look at those 4 charts, and you understand what's going on intraday, pattern-wise, what's going on daily, and that will help you to track what's going on in the general markets. If you trade the small caps, the IWM, or the futures contract, if you trade the diamonds, the Dow, if you trade the ES Mini or the SPYs or or any of the ETFs associated with those, the SDS, the SSO, if you trade the Qs, you want to understand what's going on inside the currency market. And on this 30-day chart, what we're showing here is we're showing one of those beautiful Gartley patterns. This is a Gartley sell pattern. Nothing more than just the way that the market breathes. You've got Gartley patterns. These things work 70+% of the time. And what's nice is you're doing that wonderful 0.618 retracement. And the retracement, folks, is nothing. And you've got a number of swing points that are out here. But if we just simply go back on the 30-minute chart and you take a look at the swing point that occurred at about 5:30 in the morning on December the 21st, you can see how the market then went ahead and it looks like it dropped off the cliff a little bit, right? You know, that was really looking over the edge, and boom, that was doing one of those dives off the cliff. So you can see you got a market trend change there. That's a swing point, just as you've got a swing point right in here where the market really took a dive, which was around 9:30 on the 28th of December. Now, why do I show you both of those areas? Well, number one, if we go back up to the higher swing point back on December 21st, all the way down to the low that was put in on the euro, down on the 8 o'clock, 7:30-ish time frame on the 29th of December. So you go and you take your retracement ruler from top to bottom. What you'll see is the 0.618 area is going to end up right in this range here, right where you also have a move of a move. Right? If you caught the first couple of segments, you know we were talking about a move of a move, and when you do that in a market, you're typically going to do something different. You're going to pull back a little bit. Well, what's the euro do? Here you've got a Gartley sell, meaning you got a 618 Gartley sell pattern that you've got. You've got an A to B. Here's our A point is right down here at that 7:30ish time frame. We make a B point at around on the 30th here, right around the noon time frame. You pull back into the 0.618. Look at this here. You can see this number. Maybe you can't see this number, but that's a 0.618 retracement. You pull back into the time period of around 10:30 or so on January 2nd when everybody was out maybe watching a football game or something like that, but you weren't really paying attention to what was going on in the thinly traded currency market, probably the thinnest traded currency day of the year. And in this case here, you pull back to that 0.618. That's your C point. A to B equals C to D. It makes just a little bit over a 1-to-1. A to B equals C to D. But knowing that was going to be right in this area, and you had a move of a move taking place in the 618 of this area, what's the euro do on the 30-minute chart? Pulls back right to the 0.618 area of this A to this D pattern, which is right in about here. Now it's starting to move higher. You only have the Dow off 21 points. If the euro gets stronger from here, folks, you'll see the markets turn green sometime today. 877-927-6648. We'll be right back.
TFNN is proud to bring you the cutting edge of investment newsletters. Ken Shreve's Ultimate Growth Stocks. Ken is a top-down investor who lets price and volume in the major stock indices tell him when to be in the market and when to be out. By using his unique blend of fundamental and technical analysis, Ken will protect your hard-earned capital while realizing breakout gains. Go to TFNN.com today, click Investment Newsletters, and get Ken Shreve's Ultimate Growth Stocks free for 2 weeks.
In 1929, Joe Kennedy had $4 million. By 1932, he grew it into $180 million. All this during the Great Depression. The good thing about economic difficult times is that the worst economy can produce the best rewards in the shortest period of time. In fact, during the last 130 years, 61% of that time period has been spent in recession. How would you like the strategies that Kennedys and others use that are bulletproof against the turmoil of our economy in these fast-changing times? For the last quarter of a century, I've studied and used the secrets used by millionaires and billionaires. These are bulletproof strategies that will astonish you. I'd love to introduce you to these concepts because they will absolutely change your life. I'm Steve Rhodes, co-host of The Money Masters with Tom O'Brien and host of The Trader's Edge, both seen daily at TFNN.com. If you're even a little bit interested in accumulating wealth, providing a better life for you and your family, then send me an email at steve@tfnn.com and I'll send you this free report, Pathways to Wealth. That's steve@tfnn.com, giving you Pathways to Wealth.
At Tiger Metal Exchange, we pay you more for converting your jewelry to cash.
Let's go to Brian in New Jersey. Hey, Brian, what's going on?
Hey, Tom, just want to let you know I did give you some jewelry. My jeweler offered me about $650. I should get a check in the mail tomorrow for about $1,200.
At Tiger Metal Exchange, it's all about honesty when converting your jewelry to cash.
Okay, let's go to Paul in Florida first. Hey, Paul, what's going on?
I want to commend you on the Tiger Metal Exchange. I just did a deal with you guys the other day.
Oh, good.
And very happy.
Well, I appreciate it. Now, did you sell us jewelry or did you buy coins off us?
I sold you jewelry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
What we weighted at was less than you guys said, so, you're totally honest.
At Tiger Metal Exchange, we give you the tools to value your gold, and it's absolutely free. Call 866-618-8888 or log on to TigerMetalExchange.com. We've created the easiest, safest, and most honest cash for gold process. Tiger Metal Exchange. It's the only call you need to make.
Here's what people are saying about Tiger TV.
Let's go to John in Tampa. Hey, John, what's going on?
Hi, Tom. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great. You having a good day out there?
A wonderful day. I love your Tiger TV. I watch it every day. I'm like a kid in a candy store.
Oh, man, I appreciate you out there watching it. How long have you been watching the Tiger TV?
I'm watching almost a month now, and it's wonderful.
It's pretty cool, isn't it?
Oh, yes, it's cool. You see the charts and everything. Thanks so much for the hard work.
Tiger TV, a great news service from TFNN.com. This segment is brought to you by South American Silver Corporation. For more information, just click the South American Silver Corporation banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
It's always better when we're together. Yeah, we'll look at them stars when we're together. Well, it's always better when we're together. Yeah, it's always better when we're together.
Welcome back, folks. 877-927-6648. You got the Dow off 23 points. S&P's off 5. You got the composite down 16 right now. Small caps down 6. If you take a look at the Qs, top 10 holdings in the Qs, you got Apple down $1. You've got Microsoft up 19 cents. Google down $3 right now. Oracle down 30 cents. And, folks, I'm not going to give you the Apple chart, but go study the Apple chart. I'll give you some hints. Go take a look at maybe some Gartley patterns that might be out there. Maybe go take a look at some gap patterns that are out there. Open your eyes up to why Apple is doing, what it's doing right now and the importance of that chart as it applies to the Qs. What I've got up on my screen here right now is the SPY chart. This is the SPY lunar chart. One of the few where I keep track of all the lunar phases. What we had come in yesterday, which is now no surprise, as you had the market move up into 2 lunar phases, the first quarter moon and the moon at apogee. That took place on January 1st and January 2nd. You've got our next lunar cycle coming in on the 9th. That is going to be next week on Monday, I believe. That is a full moon cycle. And, what you can look for here is you can look for the for the markets to move down into that full moon. So that is really a distinct possibility here, with yesterday potentially being the high out there. And what you want to do, folks, if you don't have that special report that I put together going back and take a look at 1939, just send me an email, steve@tfnn.com. I'll be happy to send you that one. I'll also be happy to send you my Pathway to Wealth report. A lot of really great information if you're trying to kickstart your year, if you're trying to become resolute about what it is that you want to accomplish with your health, with your wealth, with your relationships. You want to be able to take a look at what I put inside that newsletter. It is a great pathway. It is a great roadmap. It's like the AAA triptych, if you will. You want to be able to, it'll help you so much. Now, what's interesting, I pointed this out during the Money Master show. In fact, stay tuned today. Wednesday, such a great lineup around here at TFNN. You've got, following this show, Tom and I doing the Money Master show. Then in the on-deck circle, you got Basil Chapman ready to hit Basil in with maybe a homer, or maybe it's just going to be a ball off the wall, if you will. You got Larry Pesavento from 12 to 1, then David White warming things up for, and we're going to need a little warming up here in Florida. I don't know what the high is supposed to be today, but it is chilly outside. But warming up for Tom is David White from 3 to 4, and then Tom will take us home. He'll warm us up with his enthusiasm, his guidance, folks, and that's from 4 to 6. So a great lineup that we have here today. And, as I was mentioning to Tom yesterday, if you go back and you take a look at 1939, why is that important? Well, forget about World War II. That was to follow. What's important is that we had a 17 planetary index date. That is the same as this candle right out here, this October 27th area. And it was a pre-election year, and it was a year where there wasn't much of a Santa Claus rally. In fact, in this case here, you could say Santa Claus came to deliver on January the 3rd, being yesterday. Well, what's interesting, if you go back and take a look at that 1939 chart, you'll see that the high in 1940 was put in on January 3rd. Don't know if that's the same here, but I will tell you, with this P-index date out here being October 27th and understanding how powerful that is, why? I don't know. I just know that patterns repeat. I can show you how retracement patterns, 618, 786, expansion patterns, the sacred geometry repeats time and time again. You want to make sure that you've got that as a tool in your trading box, because it's just simply the way that markets breathe. Will yesterday be the high of 2012? Don't know. But I do know, it doesn't matter whether it is or it isn't, you want to know where you came from in order to know where you're going to, and you want to be able to understand why it is that you make the decisions that you make. That's why we spent that first segment, and we're going to continue. As long as the markets are relatively stable in the morning, we'll spend time taking a look at the roadmap for you to be able to get from where you are to where you want to be in all of those other areas of your life, whether it's, your wealth. And wealth means a whole lot of things. It doesn't just mean money, if you will. You can become, so wealthy not by focused on money, but just simply by chasing your passion. Are you doing what you want to do today? I can tell you that's the reason why I love being here. It's the reason why I love certainty. I love uncertainty. I love growth, love contribution. That's why I like to do this. Well, these markets provide you with certainty. If you're not trading because you don't believe you have any certainty or any control in these markets, you do. I want you to go over to the homepage of TFNN. I want you to take a look at the carousel, which is in the upper left-hand side. You're going to see the power of position sizing. Click on that button. Watch that video. Even if you don't trade, watch that video so you can get a better appreciation for the markets here, because with position sizing, with using stops, with using the right money management, you can have more certainty when you are trading these markets than anything else that I know of from an investment standpoint, because you are identifying exactly your position size when your money's coming off the table, whether it's on a stop because the market moved against you, or whether it's on an exit because the market did what you thought it was going to do because it fulfilled that pattern, and you go ahead and you take your profits. That's, what's always interesting is that folks won't take profits when their pattern's complete, which is, I show you these move or the moves, or A to B equals C to D, or Gartley's. Take your money. Start paying yourself. You do that in your business. That would be like selling some equipment or services to one of your customers. Having an ideal customer, finally making that deal, giving them the product and or service, if you will, and then not collecting. How many of you out there would run a business and would not collect your receivables? None of you. If you do, I can promise you your business is in trouble. Well, it's the same way in the market. You see, your receivables, if you will, are when those patterns complete. Because when the pattern's complete, that's when you finally delivered your product and your service. So you want to be able to trade that way. You want to, in advance, go ahead, have a target in place. Go ahead and have an exit, if you will. You can use one cancels the other, which means you've got the stop in place and the exit. So you've got two exits on the back end and on the front end, if you will, and you're totally covered. And then you can go about and do whatever else it is you want in your life. In fact, you want to be able to make sure you chunk your life into three categories: health, wealth, and relationships. And when it comes to wealth, you don't need to, and when it comes to the money management game, you don't need to be watching your screens. It doesn't matter if you trade, currencies or futures or ETFs or triples. It doesn't really matter. Go get that position size calculator, folks, because it will help you to understand this. Your receivables, I want to make sure in 2012 that you are out there collecting your receivables. Make sure you know where it is before you get into a trade, where you believe it's going to, folks. 877-927-6648. We'll be right back.
Well, it's always better when we're together. Yeah, it's always better when we're together.
You take a hands-on approach to managing your investment strategy. You're always looking for the next trading opportunity to magnify your perspective and maximize your returns. Direction Shares connects sophisticated traders with a powerful array of ETFs from a wide range of asset classes. The markets may go up and down, and you want tools for both sides of the trade. Discover how we can help at DirectionShares.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction Shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction Shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction Shares at 800-851-0511. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors employing dynamic strategies. Investors in the fund should understand the consequences of seeking daily investment results, understand the risk of shorting, and intend to actively monitor and manage their investments. Distributor Foresight Fund Services, LLC. Would you like to discover the next great tech stock? David White, TFNN's technology guru, has just launched his new newsletter, The Technology Insider. In his newsletter, David will be looking for those shining stars that may turn into the next Apple, Microsoft, or Cisco. David combines his technology background as a software programmer with his market skills as a successful professional trader to give you this unique newsletter. We're on the verge of the next great tech run. With the Technology Insider, you'll be in front of the run-up and not lagging behind. David is developing a long-term investment portfolio. Therefore, we're only offering the Technology Insider as an annual subscription with a remarkable price of only $395. That's right, for a little over $1 a day, you'll receive the fundamental technology wisdom and technical trading skills of the Technology Insider David White. What are you waiting for? Go to the front of TFNN.com, click on the link on the front page, sign up for your 2-week free trial, and become a Technology Insider today.
Put the power of the Chapman Wave methodology to work for you. No matter what market you trade, what time frame you trade in, or your trading style, the Opening Call, Basil Chapman's daily market newsletter, is bursting with the information and trades you need to become a more successful trader.
I've been using Basil Chapman's Chapman Wave methodology for several years now. His Chapman Wave can be used for any time period for not only equities, but futures, currencies, commodities. I've been also a subscriber of his Opening Call, which I find an invaluable tool to help me analyze the potential of the market each day. He gives you opportunities to go short and long. It includes recommendations on stocks. I strongly recommend people using the Chapman Wave, and I'm very, very strongly support the use of his Opening Call.
To find out more about Basil Chapman and his Chapman Wave methodology, and to get your 2-week free trial of the Opening Call, a $64 value, visit TFNN.com today.
Great Basin Gold is a mining company engaged in the exploration and development of 2 emerging gold properties in Nevada and South Africa with a total resource base of more than 23 million gold ounces. Great Basin's Burnstone mine in South Africa opened in February of this year with a resource of 20 million gold ounces, becoming the first mine to open in the historic Witwatersrand Basin in the last 30 years. The Burnstone mine is projected to have a 25-year mine life and is fully financed with production anticipated to be over 250,000 ounces per year at a cash cost of only $450 per ounce. The Hollister mine in Nevada became fully integrated in the 4th quarter of 2010 with annual production estimates of 110,000 ounces of gold per year over the 8-year mine life at a cash cost of only $527 per ounce. Great Basin Gold is cash flow positive and trades on the Toronto and New York Stock Exchanges under the symbol GBG.
Catch Tom O'Brien and Steve Rhodes as they teach you the art of mastering money when it comes to your trading and investing. The Money Masters, next on TFNN.
It's always better when we're together. Yeah, we'll look at them stars when we're together. Well, it's always better when we're together. Yeah, it's always better when we're together.
Welcome back, folks. 877-927-6648. Thanks so much for joining me this morning and sending me all that warmth. It's getting nice and warm in here. Hope you're having a warm day. And what another incredible college football game last night. The Michigan Wolverines, go blue, if you will, against the West Virginia team. And the Virginia Tech. Who was it? Yeah, Virginia Tech. And what a great game, another game that went to overtime. You know, the selections this year have really turned out to be just incredible games. The Wolverines, I didn't get a chance to see it. I was catching up on my sleep since I didn't get much sleep the night before. But it was great to wake up and see that they had won in overtime. Wasn't the explosive game from an offensive standpoint that we've seen with all the others, and which is too bad because Michigan's got one great quarterback out there, and we'll look forward to watching him next year as well. But, just another great game. I think there's maybe about 4 more left in the series, taking us all the way to the final game next Monday. So, it's some great football out there. I certainly enjoy this time of the year. I really enjoy New Year's Day. Of course, our New Year's Day this year, because it fell on a Sunday, if you will, had to be pushed back from a college football standpoint to Monday the 2nd, because, the NFL guys got their way. They got, it was important for them to complete their game. So what I've got on my screen here right now, and you've got the Dow is off about 2 points, S&P off about the same. I've got the 4 quadrants, if you will, of our opening price range, our opening price principle, if you will. And what you can see in the upper left-hand corner right now today, I've got my 5-minute chart. In the lower left, I've got my 1-minute chart. It's important to understand the daily chart as well, and then a 30-minute chart, which won't complete here for another 4 minutes or so. The daily chart, this blue line, is your 9-period EMA. The reason is that when you're taking a look at trading the opening price principle, you want to understand, where is the valency, if you will? Where is the likely outcome? If you are right now on a daily chart, if you are above that 9-period EMA, your valency is to the upside, if you will. If you're down below, that means your expected outcome, if you will, the way in which the market should trade. Doesn't mean that it will. But, folks, you want to understand the opening price principle. You want to understand this opening range. You want to go ahead and make sure that you take a look at that first 5 minutes. I love being able to take a look at both on a 1-minute, 5-minute chart, 30-minute, and daily, just simply. So you've got all 4 quadrants here. What you can see on the 5-minute chart, which is right up in here, you can see that's the first 5 minutes of the session. You can see how we moved down, came back up, and tested it, no real volume to speak of in the market. The only volume we've had was during that second 5-minute session. We had 1.6 million shares trade down below that. It'll be interesting to see what happens when we get up to the top right here, which is at the high there on the Qs. I'm looking at the Qs here, 56.88. It's important to understand the Qs because, they had been the strong lead dog out there, but they are not a lead dog anymore. Somebody I don't know. They're not the lead dog. That's all I can tell you. You want to keep your eye on Apple today for sure. Microsoft had a nice strong showing yesterday, up 29 cents today. Google, attacking its all-time highs, trading down $2.98. But, folks, Tom and I will be up in just a moment. One of the things I want you to do is I absolutely want you to make sure, if you didn't write this down, I want you to focus on this and use this for your health, for your wealth. Make sure that you're positive about your outcomes with regard to what it is that you want in your life in 2012. That's if we can get it up here on my screen so you can see that on Tiger TV. Looks like we're having just a little technical glitch on my part. But understand, let's write down what the purpose of your life is, folks. What is it that you want to accomplish with your life? What is it that you want to create? And who do you want to do it with and share it with in your life, folks? Thanks for being here. Tom and I'll be up in about 8 minutes. Have a great morning. Take care. Bye-bye now.
Yeah, it's always better when we're together.